So, of all the things you love about sex, what is the one thing you hate about sex?
Sweat.
Sweat? Why?
Because bro, when you, I don't know, when I sweat, it turns me on.
So, if a corrupt leader ends poverty, are they still evil or just inconveniently effective?
I think that they're still evil, but I think they should stay in power because ending poverty is like a pretty crazy thing. If you have no poverty whatsoever, then like clearly they're like so good at this thing over here that whatever they're doing over here maybe doesn't matter as much. I mean, depending on how crazy it is, like, you know.
If a corrupt leader ends poverty, are they still evil or just inconveniently effective?
In that sense, you'll be like a Robinson type of person. You'll be hated by the powerful people, and you'll be loved by the people that are in poverty. I look at it as everybody's not perfect, but if you're corrupt to the point where you're doing like genocide and shit like that, and it's like it has to be a situational purpose. Like it can't just be like you can be because I feel like there is corrupt people that people praise nowadays, like famous drug dealers and stuff like that. You know, like one con side they sell drugs to people that kill them eventually, and then some pros that they have is they give back to the poor communities with all the money that they kill people with. You know, so
Yeah. If a corrupt leader ends poverty, are they still evil or just inconveniently effective?
I guess in some ways yes, in some ways no. It depends on the variables, meaning how they're corrupt, I guess, and how bad that is. But to end poverty is obviously an amazing thing for society. So,
But I think ending poverty is like a pretty big thing that it's like we can overlook some bad stuff.
As long as you can end poverty,
Yeah,
you'll do whatever the hell you want.
sure.
Okay, I get that.
everybody has their reasoning for what's evil. You know, so like you can pinpoint the stuff that are evil. You be like, oh yes, that's evil. That's not evil. But like everybody, that's why I said everybody buys their own opinion. So I definitely feel like there is sometimes there's good. Like you can be, I'll give you an example. You could be a corrupt person, do some bad stuff in your past, but then you change in the future. But depending on how corrupt you were, is the outcome of your future. Like who you are as a
I'll
person.
give them the benefit of the doubt.
So you'll accept them even if they're corrupt, as long as there is, like, it's a means to an end. Like,
Well, I mean, who isn't corrupt? You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, like if you're doing something that,
are you corrupt?
No.
no, what political leader isn't? That's what I'm trying to say. There's always some negatives you can point out. So without knowing the details, I would say that that's a pretty insane thing to conquer, poverty. So
If they can conquer poverty, you're willing to overlook the corruption.
depending on what that means, but yes, I would say so.
I still got your point. I'm
Yeah,
not trying to twist.
I'll stick to it.
I'm not trying to twist your
Yeah,
teaching.
I'm gonna stick to it. I'm
Mm.
gonna stick to it. That's
Okay.
my answer. Yes.
Of all the things you like about sex, now tell me one thing you hate about sex, and don't tell me you've never had sex.
I definitely like think that there's, I mean, it's obviously it's like a great thing, like everybody kind of likes it, but I mean, yeah, definitely you don't want to get STDs. That's a pretty big one. And like, I think it's also, it can somewhat like ruin relationships because, you know, say you have like a friend group or whatever, and there's girls and you sleep with one of them and then you stop sleeping with them, and it can be awkward and break that up. And it's, I think that can be a pretty big negative, is that it can.
So sex ruins friendships.
I think it can, yes.
Oh, yeah, it has with me.
Yes.
Like, so, of all the things you love about sex, what is the one thing you hate about sex?
Sweat.
Sweat? Why?
Because bro, when you, I don't know, when I sweat, it turns me on.
Is it just you sweating, or the other party is also sweating? Like,
It's more so when I'm sweating. Like when I'm sweating, I feel like I don't know how to describe it. Like clammy. Like it just. And I also maybe it's because I overthink too. You know, maybe it's like, oh, my partner. not really liking my sweat. You know?
Yeah.
I just overthink.
Maybe they like that. They think you're working hard, bro. They think that they think you're working hard.
But I sweat easily too.
Yeah. Me too. I understand that. I understand that. I swear.
Of all the things you like about sex, tell me that one thing you hate about sex.
Wow, that's a good question. Well, from a personal perspective,
Yeah.
obviously the negatives that can come with it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, if you're doing it for enjoyment, the fact that you get a pregnancy, I have a girlfriend, but you know, if you're just having sex with someone, you get STDs, you know, or UTIs. So there's a lot of negatives that come with it, and those things are really bad, and a lot of people neglect them. But once you get an STD or something like that, you know, it can be life-threatening or just a problem for the rest of your life. So I would say that.
Yeah.
Another thing too, it's like, I feel like when you're in a relationship with a girl, well, yeah, that's all I want to talk about. But
Yeah, exactly.
but
Get that.
like, if you're dating a girl, I feel like the number one factor that can destroy it is sex. If she cheats on you,
Yeah.
or you cheat on her, like, it's not the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you go hang out with a dude and you're like, go eat ice cream with him, it's like, okay. But nine times out of 10, maybe they'll be like, hey, don't do that. I'm not gonna break up with you over it.
Mhm.
But as soon as sex is involved,
Get involved.
it ruins everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. I've been in a few relationships here and there. They
Yeah,
can.
it definitely can ruin some relationships. And
If it required a very deep connection to enjoy sex, how do you think that would change the rate at which people have sex?
If there was a deep connection,
Yeah, it's required, like, you must have a very deep connection with someone to actually enjoy sex. Do you think? Yeah, how do you think that would actually?
I feel like that makes you more attached to the person. Like, as in, like if you guys are both have mutual feelings for each other that are deeper than just it's not
Yeah.
intimacy.
So how do you think? Do you think that would change the rate at which people have sex?
The rate?
Yeah, the rate at which people have sex. If it's required that you have a very deep connection with someone before you actually enjoy sex.
Yes, I know, because if you do have a deep intimacy, like a deep connection, then there's like understanding. Like, if somebody doesn't want to do it, or if someone wants to, like, it's more. How do I say it? There's more understanding when you do it with someone that you have mutual feelings.
And no.
And no, yes, okay, yeah, I did say yes and no. No, because if it's somebody that you don't like, you just look at sexually, and you don't get what you want, like, you're gonna be like, why the fuck am I here? But if it's somebody that you enjoy, you're okay with waiting.
No.